Welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Pun. No, he's not here. I can't say that anymore.
That's right.
But you know who is here? You're awesome, Lord of Pennies. How you doing, Satsu?
Pretty good.
I'm your Lord of Pain. We're here to entertain you for a couple of hours, and we'll do our very best. How was your day, Satsu? You have a good one?
Pretty standard day. Got some work done, so that's good.
The day's gone pretty well for me. Nothing to really complain about. My eye's a little that's what I'm looking for. Sticky, if that makes sense. From yesterday, it just feels like it gets stuck every once in a while. It's not stuck. It just kind of feels like it is, but it doesn't hurt anymore. So I'm a happy person. And any day I wake up without feeling like somebody's trying to poke me in the eye is a good day. Muggy Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit the like button, guys, and share our stuff because it's awesome. It's fun to do. We got stories.
No, we don't.
We got some good stories tonight. Oh, we do. Rosivak, thank you so much. Who says, "Evening Monkey, love your shows." Thank you so much for watching. Which one should we start with? Let's do this one, shall we? New York Police Department limits retirement applications amid 400% surge this week.
I wonder why that could be.
Right? This is Kyle. Thank you so much. Who says, "Hello, chat people, Monkey and Satsu. Hello, how are you?" New York's finest are putting in for retirement faster than the NYPD can handle, while citing a lack of respect and the loss of overtime pay, the Post has learned. Thank you, Snubberth, who says, "Sounds like pink eye." No, there was just something in my eye. And it was in there long enough yesterday that it bothered the whole eye. A surge of city cops filing papers during the past week more than quadrupled last year's numbers as the city grapples with the surge of shootings, and the stampede caused a bottleneck that's forcing others to delay putting in their papers, official sources told the Post. So it seems like everybody wants to get out of that line of business. The NYPD said Wednesday that 179 cops filed for retirement between June 29th and Monday, an astounding 411 It's the information. Increased over the 35 who filed during the same time period last year. The number represents, the astonishing rush for the door came as 503 cops filed for retirement between May 25th, the day George Floyd was killed, and July 3rd. That number represents a 75% increase over the 287 who filed during the same period last year. It's almost like if you run around telling people how much you hate them and take away their ability to earn some of the money, given that they took away the overtime, they might not want to do that job anymore.
Who knew?
Yeah. So, it's not shocking to me. And there's actually a fucketry that's kind of related to this we'll get to later. I'm actually surprised that it's not more. I don't know how many police do they have there? I know their police budget was like $4 or $5 billion. And they're taking it down by $1 billion, which cuts the overtime pay, which is part of what these guys were talking about. I'm not shocked. The city is offering you no confidence in what you're doing. The entirety of the media is out there telling you what a shitty job you do. You have people openly defying you in the streets. You have district attorneys who are not prosecuting you when you've been, or prosecuting the people you've arrested who have assaulted you. I can't imagine why that they'd all be wanting to leave that shitty job. Seems like man, you got to be a glutton for punishment to stay there. That or really, really need the money. I'm guessing if they're getting their retirement age and they're putting in for actual retirement and not just leaving the force, these guys have been there a while and don't want to put up with this shit anymore.
They're also probably doing it before they're defunded.
Yeah, I don't know when that new funding takes place, but apparently the pension section is only taking a certain amount of people per day, and I think they are backed up till late July or early August, one cop said. That's why you don't see like 100 a day, because they're only doing like 35 to 40 a day by appointment. So there you go. Devil Fruit Zero, thank you. Blue Flu. Yeah, there you go. Right?
I can already kind of hear people like, oh, yeah, well, some protect and serve. They, the cops they were supposed to be, I guess they weren't serious about their job then. It's like...
Yeah. How dare you not stand out here and take the abuse we throw at you?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be here to protect and serve me now. Get me a drink, bitch.
Yeah, we fucking hate you, by the way. Stay away from our neighborhood or we'll run you out. And then continue to complain about how you don't care about anything over here.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know what it's like around the rest of the country, but it does surprise me that it's this low. That fuck, if I was a cop eligible for retirement right now, fuck yeah, I'd be out.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, good luck. Now y'all can serve and protect me. It's almost like it was predictable. Let's see. This is a much longer article than I expected. They actually talked to quite a few police in this, and it seems like they basically said all the same thing. You know, they're tired of being taken for granted kind of thing. Yeah. Froggy said it's her birthday tomorrow, but she won't be here and want to know if we could sing tonight. Absolutely. Froggy, this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, dear Froggy.
Ribbit.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I hope you have a great one. Really, really do. Oh, let's see. Mary Kay Letourneau, teacher who raped and later married a student, dead at 58.
Okay.
I love the headline here because it doesn't say who sexually assaulted or who had a relationship with, just raped. You know why? Because that's what she did to this boy.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Kay Letourneau, the former Washington State teacher who became infamous for her sexual relationship with a 12-year-old student she later married, has died of colon cancer. She was 58 years old. Attorney David Girk, I think is how you say that, who represented her in the case that shocked America, said Letourneau had been battling stage 4 cancer. It was expected, but sad anyway. She was a good person. Let me go back up to that headline. Teacher who raped. She was a good person. You know, at least you could do is say she was somebody who made bad decisions in her life. At least give us that. I know you're a lawyer and all, but she was a good person, really? She was 35 when that happened, Satsu. 35, banging, and the 12-year-old thing, it's either 12 or 13. There's no official account of when their relationship started, but it was somewhere around there. She was 35. Banging a 13-year-old. I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt by saying 13. That's not a good person by any stretch of the imagination.
Nope.
In the summer of 1996, Letourneau was a 34-year-old married. Okay. I'll even start giving her the benefit of the doubt that it started when she was still 34. So 34 to 13. That's the absolute best we can give her. But remember, they've never said exactly when it started. Letourneau was a 34-year-old married mother of 4. I want to say that again. Married mother of 4. When her relationship with 6th grader Vili Falua turned sexual. I need to read that whole thing again. Listen to the words that are used there. She was a 34-year-old mother of 4 when her relationship with a 6th grader turned sexual.
Mm-hmm.
And her lawyer still called her a good person.
I mean, that's what they're paid to do.
At about 1:20 a.m., June 19th, 1996, police discovered them in a minivan parked in the suburban Seattle city of Des Moines Marina. Letourneau, excuse me. Letourneau initially told the officers that the boy was 18, raising suspicions that something sexual was going on. But back at the police station, Falua, I think I'm saying his name right, and Letourneau denied there'd been any touching. Instead, they said Letourneau had been babysitting the boy and took him from her home after she and her husband had a fight. About 2 months after the incident, Letourneau became pregnant with his child.
Wait, she told the cop she was babysitting an 18-year-old?
I think what happened is they went back to the station. It was found out he was actually whatever age he was.
Okay, because I'm just like,
and then
something don't add up.
Yeah, it didn't say that in the story here, but I think that's what exactly happened, you know? She pleaded guilty in 1997 to raping the youngster. Their daughter, Audrey, was born in May 1997 while she was awaiting sentences. Through a plea deal, Letourneau's sentence was reduced to 6 months. But 2 weeks after her release, she was caught having sex with a teen in a car and was jailed again. What this doesn't tell you is that she was sentenced to 6 months. She was let out, I believe it was after 3, and the other 3 months was a suspended sentence. And she was ordered to never have contact with this boy again. And as soon as she got out, she got busted in a car with him again. Snubber, thank you. I think they did a Hallmark movie on this chick. I'm fairly certain they did. I know there have been a couple movies made about them. Where are we at? By then, she was pregnant with the couple's second child, a girl they named Georgia, who was born behind bars. Oof. This is a love story, y'all. The kids were raised by Falua's mother until Letourneau's release about 7 years later. Letourneau and Falua married on May 20th, 2005 in Woodinville, Washington. They had previously characterized their relationship as one of love and even wrote a book together called Only One Crime, Love. I feel like that's not the only crime in this situation. I believe the other crime was mentioned in the title. Starts with an R and ends in ape. Rape.
It's an ape.
They had their story was also the subject of a USA Network movie called All American Girl. But the union ultimately didn't last. They divorced last year, according to People magazine. Letourneau was working as a paralegal at the time and said in 2008 that she wanted her newfound skill to scrub her name from the sex offenders list. You raped a 13-year-old boy.
And had 2 childrens.
During the marriage, Falua maintained he did not see himself as a victim of a sexual predator. I am not a victim. I'm not ashamed of being a father. I'm not ashamed of being in love with Mary Kay, he said in 2013. Or sorry, 2013. I guess 5 years later, that all ended, right? Mm-hmm. He was 13 at the time. She made him a father twice. He might not feel like a victim, but that's why we don't let children decide these things.
I think that's like a part of the whole point, right?
Yeah. We hold adults to this because they're the ones who are supposed to be able to make rational decisions, not based on their hormones. 34 years old, banging a 13-year-old that she was in a relationship with before it turned sexual. What the fuck kind of relationship you have with a 13-year-old? Other than you're the teacher and he's the student. They're sitting down sharing life's ambitions and she's telling them all about her family. This woman was a horrible piece of shit who raped a 13-year-old boy repeatedly. Did it again after she got out of prison. Yeah, after she got out the first time, the second time they're like, nah, fuck you, and they threw her in for 7 years. So I have no sympathy for her. I don't know if any of her children are still. She had 6 children total, 4 with the original husband. So I'm guessing all of her children are grown. So at least they'll make it on their own. Sorry you lost your mom, but she was a rapist cunt. I know you just called her mom, but she was a rapist cunt. Let's see. San Francisco officially introduces Karen Act to stop racially biased 911 calls.
Seriously?
Seriously. A San Francisco city official is taking aim at so-called Karens by introducing an ordinance making it illegal to make bogus racially biased calls to cops.
And,
Supervisor, yeah.
Well, I'm curious what the metric is, because we've heard bogus, fake calls made to the cops of people literally doing nothing and they starting shit. Like, we've seen those, but I'm very curious what the threshold is. We'll see. I'm wondering
if it's any different if it's just bogus calls against regular people.
Well,
you know what I mean?
The way they're making
it's not racially biased.
Well, okay. Well, it's already illegal to make like false police reports and false calls to the police, right?
I don't know about false calls. A false report, yes, but I don't know if just calling 911 counts.
Didn't somebody get in trouble
just calling
recently though?
Well, this is San Francisco, and that's the chick in New York.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, yeah, it might be different.
So, yeah. Supervisor Shaman Walton said he introduced the Karen Act, or Caution Against Racially Exploitive Non-Emergencies Act, during Tuesday's Board of Supervisor meeting in response to several high-profile 911 calls involving people of color. This is the Karen we need, Walton tweeted Tuesday, adding that racist 911 calls are unacceptable. Well, is anybody disagreeing with that? Wouldn't the argument be over whether or not it actually was racist? Because I've never seen anybody stand up and go, look, hey, my racist call was okay.
Right. The argument usually is whether or not it is. But here's the thing, though. I'm curious if they already, like, if it's already illegal to do that, like to make a call or a false report based on anything, like on any metric, then does this carry something other than that charge? Like maybe like slap on a hate crime to it or something?
I don't know. The other thing I saw about this, because I read a little bit yesterday, I don't think it said that. Let's see. The ordinance would amend San Francisco Police Code to make it unlawful for anyone to, quote, fabricate false racially biased emergency reports.
But what if it was a misunderstanding?
Yeah, what if it wasn't actually? Okay. The legislation seeks to protect the rights of communities of color who are victimized. Oh, back up. It can go the other way. Do you think anybody would get in trouble for that?
Well, that was going to be my next question. If you're going to do so, are they saying if you're going to do it to white people? Don't do it to people of color.
Right. Yeah. But who are victimized by fraudulent emergency calls, Walton said in a statement. The name of the ordinance is a clear reference to Karen, a slang term popularized on social media for entitled or bigoted white women who unnecessarily call police on people of color. That is not what it means. That is not what it means.
Well, what about black people who call the cops on black people?
Before Karens were calling blacks or calling police on black people, they were calling it on their white neighbors.
Yeah.
They're just ignorant cunts who just can't mind their own fucking business. Are some of them racist? Probably. Some of them, definitely. But a lot of them are just fucking nosy.
Yeah, they're busybody, nosy bitches who are always in somebody else's shit. They can, well, whatever. They've commandeered the word now, so it means whatever the fuck they say it does. So we can't do anything about it.
Karen officially has racial connotations. Yay! Motherfucker.
You remember when there was an argument that was literally happening a couple weeks ago when some white chick came out and was like, Karen is a racial slur. And we laughed at her and was like, shut up, bitch. Like, that's not what it is. It is now. Like, it officially, in law, is a racial slur.
If this passes.
If it passes.
Yeah. Thank you, Sanguine, who said, it is normally illegal to abuse the 911 system, but it is rather hard to prove with good reason. But when it is proven they do, they tend to fuck you properly. It is normally used in shit like swatting or other cases like that, since those are clear cut. Gotcha. Yeah. I know you can get in trouble for misusing 911, but it's, again, how do you prove what the actual intent behind it was?
And that's my issue.
My daughter accidentally called 911. We were goofing around at the dinner table one day, just joking around, and somebody said they wanted to get their phone number to be 9110. And my daughter goes, I wonder if that's anybody's number. And she picks up her cell phone and quickly dials it. Well, if you dial 911, it doesn't matter what you dial on past it. It immediately connects you to 911, which I learned that day when the 911 operator called me back to see if there was anything wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate stuff like this that's specific. You know, that's really focused on a specific group of people, where it's just like, okay, so if I'm black and some kids are just fucking around in my front yard and I want them to get out of there, and I called like, these little Negroes are out here doing some shit they ain't got no business. Because I'm black, it's okay. Like, it's fine. Just, as long as white people aren't doing it.
I don't like that specific part of it. It's a little too vague in the terminology, because you have to be able to prove intent.
Yeah, you have to prove intent.
It shouldn't be a racially based law like that. If anybody's abusing the system, anybody, there you go. Why does it need to be different than that? I guess just to once again prove we're not all the same. We're all different, and you better fucking acknowledge it.
You know, I'm starting to think like these lawmakers are putting it out that way because they specifically know it's going to be shot down for that reason. And then they can tell their voters like, oh, I tried. Even though they know that putting it, because what they could do specifically, if they don't already have a law in place that covers this, just not specifically, is they could actually make a law that says if anybody calls the police for any reason under false pretenses or whatever, then you're going to suffer the consequences. But the people who claim they want equality and fight for all that shit don't want that. We don't want it to apply to everyone. We don't want equality. We want special treatment. If it doesn't only apply to us, then it's not really for us now, is it? I'm just like, but it affects everyone. So it's like I said, that's why I don't fuck with these activist movements and all that shit, because they're not fighting for what they say they're fighting for, guys. They don't want what you think they want.
Professor Chaos, thank you. This ordinance is a violation of the First Amendment and equal protection. First Amendment, I would say probably not. Equal protection, absolutely. The problem is you'd have to, the way to challenge that, I'm not even sure how you do it, because you need some white person to challenge it, saying that it's not fair because if a Latino, black, or Asian called the police on them for racist reasons, that it wouldn't suffice. And they'd probably win on those grounds. But
so what do you do exactly as a white person seeing something that you perceive to be a crime? Hey, are you committing a crime right now?
Right.
I just want to make sure. So when I call the police, I don't go to jail. Or should they do like they've been doing when it comes to racial issues and just pretend they don't see nothing? Would you be happy about that? If somebody was fucking assaulting you in an alley and a white person walked past and saw it and was like, this could probably get me in trouble. So good luck, bitch. Bye.
Yep.
Like, what is that preferable? You know, especially if it's a black person assaulting you, we want to get them in trouble.
Over on the Streamlabs, thank you so much, Pete. That is very generous. Who says, hello, monkey. Hello, sir. How are you today? How's the down under treating you? Well, in a related story, Satsu, birdwatcher not cooperating with investigation into Central Park Karen Amy Cooper.
I wonder fucking why.
Well, actually, you have not seen the story? His reasoning is actually good on him, but he's a better man than me.
Well, hold on. Give me a second. Let me I forgot to pull up my Streamlabs. I know we don't always get them, but I know it happens and people are like, dude, check your shit. So what was his reasoning?
Where's this at? He said he's not investigating. He says, on the one hand, she's already paid a steep price. That's not enough of a deterrent to others. Bringing her more misery just seems like piling on. So if the DA feels the need to pursue charges, he should pursue charges, but he can do that without me.
Oh.
Yeah. He's just like, you know what? She suffered. She's lost her home, her dog, not her home, sorry, her job, her dog, and just been drug all over. Her life is basically a country song right now.
Yeah, I mean,
and he's like, yeah, it's, that's enough.
I don't need it. It's like, that's cool, but it's partially his fault. So I'm still on that kind of like, all right.
I wonder what would have happened if he'd gone to the DA or the police with this evidence instead of running to social media.
I don't know.
Because the only reason the DA is really doing this is because of the video and all the push that came of it. This is purely a political thing. So I wonder if the DA is going to be like, okay, yeah, we won't prosecute her. It'll be interesting to see. Rodline, thank you. How far are we from seeing if white people float or drown to prove innocence? Oh, we got a little bit. You're talking about Twitter if you're talking about that stuff. And the last story, Supreme Court backs religious exemption from ACA birth control mandate. The Supreme Court on Wednesday upheld extended exemptions for the Affordable Care Act birth control mandate for employers with religious or moral objections. In a 7-2 vote, with Ginsburg and Sotomayor dissenting, in the case of Pennsylvania versus Little Sisters of the Poor, they came down on the side of it's okay to have exemptions, except for that's not exactly what they came down on the side of. They came down and said that the law says it's okay for them to make exemptions.
Right.
Which a lot of people out there are just wrong about who are talking about this right now. I watched Philip DeFranco's video. Lady Monkey had been watching it when I was out in the living room, so I came in here and I'm like, all right, I gotta see what exactly he's saying. And I was not shocked to see that he got this story about as wrong as you could get it and still not say you're lying. So here's the deal. In the law, there is no specific birth control mandate. The actual wording of the law says something to the effect of plans have to have, preventative care and I don't know, something else for women. But what that preventative care is, it doesn't say. Instead, it leaves it up to a government body to decide. It leaves all of it up to the government body to decide. So when they decided, we're going to allow exemptions for this, Congress gave them the ability to do that. That's what's in the law. So, I mean, the Supreme Court upheld the ACA Act. That's what these people should be saying. They upheld the ACA. They upheld Obamacare today. And yet I don't see Democrats real happy about it. It's weird. They actually upheld the letter of the law of Obamacare. Their pride and joy, their crowning jewel from Obama's administration. The Supreme Court said the law is fine. And they are not happy with that. Real quick over on the Streamlabs. Thank you, Sanguine. Accidental 911 aren't offenses, but they should be in most areas are responded to by police to ensure the call wasn't interrupted in abuse cases. Most areas 911 off hooks, hang-ups without speaking are responded to, and if everything is fine, talk to. Fair enough. Yeah. I don't understand why everybody's so upset about the Supreme Court upholding the ACA. Okay, I do. But I like being a little bit of a jackass about this. They upheld the law as you wrote it, jackass. We'll get to that in fucketry, though.
Also, by the way, guys, chat's asking how Scribe and is he okay? Scribe is fine. He just wasn't feeling good today. He said he don't know if he ate something weird, but he just hasn't been feeling so hot, so he's just taking the night off. He said he might pop in later, though, so we'll see.
Yeah, he's just not feeling well. He said we're buttholes and he doesn't want to associate with us anymore.
Yeah, he was like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, it was hurtful. I cried.
I didn't, but
yeah.
Monkey did.
Yeah, it was sad. Over on the MSS News, that's where we are. Guys, if there's a story you want us to take a look at, hit us up at the hashtag MSS News on the Twitter machine. We can't get to them all, but that's just because we don't want to. I mean, we could get to them all if we just sat here and read all night.
We could.
We're not gonna. But
we could.
First one comes to us from Snubberth, who sent this in. Oregon man driving stolen car crashes into woman driving another stolen car.
Lovely.
A police chase in Oregon ended when a driver fleeing authorities in a stolen car crashed into a woman driving another stolen car. Fuck. The debacle took place Monday when police responded to a report of a stolen Toyota Land Cruiser driving through downtown Newburgh, according to the Newburgh-Dundee police. A pursuit ensued and lasted for several blocks until the driver crashed into another car near an intersection. Cops identified the driver of the first car as Randy Lee Cooper of Portland. After taking Cooper into custody, the police realized that the second car was also reported stolen in an unrelated crime 3 weeks earlier. That car was driven by Kristen Nicole Bigue, she was also found to be under the influence. Cooper was charged with unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. That seems like unauthorized. Isn't that a weird euphemism for stolen car? Unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, attempting to elude police, assault, and reckless driving. Now, wouldn't it be cool if these two crazy kids hooked up? They become a couple, and they can tell their grandkids about how they met after they both stole cars
and then crashed into each other and was like, this must be fate.
Right. I feel like they were destined to be together, and she's kind of cute. She's not ugly. She's kind of got a Punky Brewster look going on. I'll throw the link in chat so y'all can see what I'm talking about. She's kind of got that Soleil Moon Fry look going on. He looks like, mom and dad were related before marriage. Professor Cass, thank you. Scribs just wanted to torture us by having Monkey read to us. I've done fine tonight. What the hell are you talking about? They're trying to be hurtful. They're trying to hurt my feelings. They just know I've already cried today, so I'm emotional. Yeah. Let's see. What do we have next? I hope those two crazy kids get together. I want them to have a good life. Oh, shit. I forgot to refresh this. I had went to latest at the beginning of the show and forgot to come back. So let's see. Colleen Bernier sends in this one. Cat falls asleep. God damn it. There we go. In Washington machine and miraculously survives 12-minute cycle.
Holy fuck.
Owners of the Burmese cat Oscar had no idea he fell asleep inside the washing machine when they turned it on, only to realize that or what had happened when they heard his meows. From the picture, it looks like it's a front-loading washing machine. Washing machines and dryers that are front loaders, be very careful if you have cats. Make sure you're keeping those closed, because I know somebody who baked a cat to death in their dryer. They didn't mean to. They just didn't know the cat was in there, threw clothes in, and started it.
That is not very great for the cat.
No, it wasn't great for the house or the dryer. They had to get rid of the dryer and have the house aired out because they baked a cat in it. A Burmese cat named Oscar miraculously survived a 12-minute cycle in the washing machine after owners didn't realize he'd fallen asleep inside. The 2-year-old cat had wandered into the washer for a quick nap, only to be stuck inside for a grueling 12 minutes. You don't have to keep telling us how long he was in there. Just because you have a new sentence doesn't mean we forgot. They've told us 4 times already.
They gotta empathize it.
Oscar's owner, Amanda Meredith, who lives in Majimba. Sorry, guys, my voice is going. First realized what had happened when she heard a peculiar meowing sound after her husband, Angelo, had loaded their bed sheets into the washer. He tried to kill that cat. Initially, Amanda thought the whining was coming from the cupboard, so she went to hang out another load of washing, thinking nothing of it. Good thing they didn't have a dryer. But when she came back inside and Oscar was nowhere to be seen, she started frantically searching the house. That was the moment she realized the furry friend was stuck inside the machine. Okay, so she hears this horrible meowing sound. And instead of going to look for the cat, then she's like, he'll be fine, and went out and hung stuff. But then when she comes back and he's not there, she's like, oh, something must be wrong.
Mm-hmm. Is there a problem with that?
I feel like the horrible meowing is when you should have stopped everything and gone to check and see where the poor thing was.
Nah, man. Your cat could have gotten to the Coke.
She's a bad mother. She told ABC News, the poor little cat had his hands on the glass and he was doing the rotations and he was looking at me. It was tragic.
Help, bitch. Get me out.
It actually sounds a little funny.
Like, no.
He lived, so it can be funny. Cody, thank you. Did you know the cat was in there for 12 minutes, Ranting Monkey? You know, I'd forgotten that already.
I don't think they mentioned it.
No. It took another 2 minutes after the machine had come to a stop and drained for the door to unlock. Oh, wow. The following 6 hours were touch and go for the Burmese, according to her vet, who works at who cares where it's at. Thankfully, Oscar survived the ordeal with only a few bumps and bruises and a severe fear of the washing machine.
Yeah, probably.
I hope for the rest of his life, every time they start that washer, he shits on the floor. You know what I mean? He's just like, oh, shit.
Just drop it.
Let's see.
What do you?
I don't. No, I'm not reading that. That's weird. The headline is Heinz releases creams kit to turn popular condiments into ice cream. No. Nobody needs salsa ice cream. Nobody needs mustard ice cream. Stop it.
Somebody needs it.
No, they don't. Just because somebody made it don't mean somebody needs it.
I mean, somebody don't buy it.
Corey, thank you. At least it wasn't a gerbil in a toilet. Yeah, well. Pebbles, we miss you. Pebble. Instead, we'll read this one from Massive. Come on. OnlyFans could face bill of over 3 years worth of unpaid taxes. OnlyFans could be forced to pay a bill covering more than 3 years worth of unpaid taxes, Sky News reports. The content subscription service began charging VAT for the first time last week. That's value-added tax. But Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs is now believed to be investigating whether the company should have been collecting VAT since it was launched in 2016.
Oof.
If Her Royal Majesty's whatever finds the company has been deliberately evasive with its tax returns, it could be handed a penalty worth double the tax owed. OnlyFans is a platform where people can share exclusive content in just call it what it is, man. Exclusive content in return for a monthly subscription fee, and is particularly popular among amateur pornographic models. It's where people show porn of themselves. They don't have to dress it up in frilly language.
So here's the question.
Yeah.
Is just the company going to be in trouble for not paying those taxes, or are everybody else who was doing that, are they going to be in trouble for not doing it? Yeah.
If there's people on OnlyFans not paying their taxes, they're going to get in trouble for it. Guys, if you get into social media and start making money off of it, you have to pay. Government still wants their cut. Corey, thank you. And Monkey, you're telling me you don't want ranch ice cream. Actually, no, that doesn't. It's not a flavor that I want frozen. The company states that it takes 20% of subscription fees, with the rest going directly to the content creators. As such, if the HMRC determines the company should have been collecting VAT since it began operating, which is almost always charged at 20%, it would have to hand over all of its UK income to cover this. Wow.
Yeah.
So they have to pay on the entirety of the money, not just the 20% that they get. Man, why do you people live in England? Your laws are so fucked up. Because here it would be, if it was a 20% tax, they'd be taxed on the 20% that they got. It wouldn't be taxed on the 100% that we split.
Oof.
OnlyFans told LED Bible, whatever that is, I guess that's the site. Following continuous communications with the UK tax authorities, we have implemented changes to the treatment of our UK EU income from July 1st, 2020. There you go. I imagine that they're making enough money that even if they had to give up all of that, they'll be okay. They'll get it back.
Yeah, I think I'm like, all right, look here, OnlyFans users, y'all gonna have to put out more titties than ever before because we got
right. Titties for VAT tax. Let's see what else we got here. This comes from David Schoen, Jedi Ghost Bear. Inslee disappointed over controversial post by cousin, a King County detective. A King County Sheriff's Office detective who came under fire for comments about protesters is Jay Inslee's cousin. Governor Jay Inslee said he is deeply disappointed with the controversial comments about Seattle protesters made by his cousin. Detective Mike Brown was placed on administrative leave Monday after posting a photo on social media that ridiculed protesters who were struck by a car on a closed freeway. What he said? Oh, man, he ruined my joke. Oh, you suck. Professor Cass, thank you. They're supposed to collect VAT on the sub price. Okay. But, again, they're only getting the 20%. The creators should be paying the rest of that, in my opinion. Look, we don't have a VAT tax here, so fuck England.
Well, wait a minute. Their taxes are automatically done over there, though, right? Like, they don't have to, file their taxes over there, if I remember correctly, right?
I don't know. But apparently, OnlyFans didn't. It's like Britain is out to ruin porn for their people. Cryptic, thank you. I need to up the price of my OnlyFans. Jiggling life matters.
Huh?
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I'm deeply disappointed and totally reject the language of my cousin Mike Brown, who made inflammatory comments about recent protests. The language is unacceptable and just flatly wrong, particularly from a law enforcement officer, as we try to heal the divisions of our community.
Yeah, that ain't happening. What the fuck did he say?
Brown's post reportedly read, "All lives splatter."
Oof.
He ruined it because mine was Black Lives Splatter. That makes more sense because they were chanting for Black lives, not all lives.
Well, the two people who got hit were white, right? If I remember correctly.
Well, I think one was Hispanic and one was white.
Oh, okay.
The one chick's name is Diaz. That's not a very honky name. That's a far more Hispanic sounding name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. Another post on the same account appeared to mock the death of Lorenzo Anderson, who was fatally shot during the Capitol Hill organized protest. Brown, a veteran detective, has worked as security detail for several King County executives and was a key part of the staff that tracked down the Green River killer, Gary Ridgway. Thank you, Snubber. The irony is a lot of OnlyFans girls are anti-capitalist. This will be interesting. Well, if it's not hitting them, why would they care? It's going to have to come out of the other guy's pocket. OnlyFans is turning into their simp. The sheriff's office and the Office of Law Enforcement Oversight are investigating the post. Investigating the post? What's there to investigate?
I don't know.
Did you say that? Yes or no? The end.
Sure did.
And then take whatever disciplinary action you think appropriate at that time. Which to me would be like, dude, come on. You're a cop. You can't be saying that stuff. It looks bad for us right now. We get it. We think it's funny too. I mean, no, they wouldn't say that out loud. Certainly not Jay Inslee. He's a giant pussy. I don't think he ever laughs. Anyway, so yeah, he got in trouble for saying some bad stuff. It's not even bad. It's just a cheap joke. This one comes from Peter Stewart. Country band Lady A filed, that's used to be Lady Antebellum, files a lawsuit against singer with the same name. I'm kind of torn on this story. I was reading about it earlier. Because technically they're right, but it's kind of fucked up. So I'm not going to read the story. I'll explain it to you. It's easier that way. And I don't screw up words as often. So the group Lady Antebellum has dropped the name Antebellum because they realized, ooh, that has slavery context. Even though nobody was thinking that. Nobody cared. You're a country music band. Nobody was talking about this. But they're like, we're renaming ourselves Lady A for Black Lives Matter. Unfortunately, there's a singer in the country who's been around for several decades who goes by the name Lady A. And they tried to get together and work something out so both of them could use it. They were going to let both artists use it and work together on a song and specifically promote this woman's career. But something broke down in there where the lady wanted $10 million to let them use the name. But here's the thing. In 2000, I want to say it was 2011 and approved in 2013. It might be 6 and 8. I forget the exact years. Lady Antebellum filed a copyright for the name Lady A. And it wasn't challenged, so it was approved. They sell merchandise and have been since then with that same name, under that same, or with an additional copy or trademark. It's their name. They own it. And so while she's used it for several decades, legally, it's theirs. So it's kind of fucked up. And if she's trying to get $10 million out of him, and it's probably some lady nobody's ever really heard of, she would make $10 million in her whole career. That's what you get for being greedy, bitch. So yeah, they've had to sue her to get her to stop using the name because they own it. I kind of feel bad for her, but if it's true that she came out and told them that in order to use a name that technically belongs to them, she's got to give them $10 million. Well, fuck that greedy bitch.
That is not a predicament you want to find yourself in.
Right? Terry Diamandis, thank you. Jarbo said you guys were right-wing propaganda. When does it start? I've been waiting almost an hour. Oh, I'm sure it'll slip in eventually.
Jarbo can fuck off.
Yeah, we can talk about that briefly. I don't want to talk about it much, but we'll talk about it briefly at YouTube or at Fucketry time.
He said that today? Like, why is he talking about it?
We can talk about it at Fucketry time.
All right. I'll try to contain myself. You know how I feel about that motherfucker.
This one comes from Frosted Glass by way of Slate. The case for Stacey Abrams.
We don't need a case for Stacey Abrams.
I wonder if they understand the. Don't just unify the electorate, expand it, like Stacey's waist. No. Stacey Abrams has a lot going for her as a public figure, but the case for Joe Biden to make her the Democratic vice presidential nominee, out of the many options he has available to him, begins and ends with two numbers. The first is 60, which is the percent of black citizens in Georgia who, according to the Census Bureau's current population survey, voted in the 2016 election. Thank you, Point Curation. Jarbo the Hutt is great. I know what you mean. Thank you for the donation. And Pete, thank you. Check your Streamlabs, Satsu.
I have it open. Maybe I need to refresh. Or maybe he sent it to the other one.
Yeah. The first number is 60, which is the percentage of blacks who voted. The second number is also 60 and is the percentage of black citizens in Georgia who voted during the 2018 election.
Oh, shit. I was logged into the wrong one. God damn it.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now. I saw my little symbol up there, and I noticed it was the 2 cents plus one instead of the Satsu 2 cents one. God damn it! Made all that effort to fucking pull it up, and all right, give me a second. It's loading. Thank you, Pete, for the donation. It says hello, Satsu, and oh, this is from before. So thank you, I appreciate it.
So what it's telling us is in 2016 and 2018, black turnout was 60%.
Okay.
That was 2018. That was a midterm year, and it is the rule of the United States politics that voter turnout during midterm years, particularly among Democrats and non-white voters, is much lower than it is when the presidency is being decided. But with Stacey Abrams on the ballot in Georgia's gubernatorial race, that iron truism did not hold true. Overall turnout in 2018 across the country was 49%. Timeout. What was turnout in 2014 in Georgia? Because while it is a truism that, generally speaking, less people vote in the midterm elections, and it's not just Democrats, it's whoever's holding the White House usually has less people turn out for them. They hold their gubernatorial elections in the presidential off years, in the midterms, which might be driving more people out in the midterms. So it'd be more important to know what the black turnout was in 2014, 2010, 2006, rather than just going back. Well, the country as a whole, Abrams ultimately lost her race. Well, there's the other number you need to know. How is she on federal elections? 0-1 against Republican Brian Kemp by 55,000 vote, 1.4% margin. But she was working against some serious headwinds. For one, if she had won, she would have been the first black woman to serve as governor in the history of the United States. Did anybody campaign against her on that notion?
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, Pete, it was the right one. You sent it to the correct one. I was just logged into the wrong one because I'm a dumbass.
Unless somebody was arguing, hey, we got to keep her from becoming the first black woman to serve as governor, that's not a headwind. That's just a coincidence at this point. We've elected a black man president. For another, Kemp was not the only Republican candidate for governor, but as the incumbent Georgia Secretary of State, the supervisor of its elections, and he had spent the previous several years implementing the kind of polling site closures, registration purges, and error-prone protections against voter fraud that had the cumulative effect of disenfranchising low-income voters and voters of color. But you just told me 60% of them turned out.
Well, I think they said 40, right? Or are we still talking about the same time period?
No, they said 49 overall in the United States voted.
Oh,
But 60% of black people voted in the 2018 election in Georgia.
gotcha.
So they're telling me they were disenfranchised, but there's this huge number that voted. 11% more than the national average for everybody. So which one is it?
All right.
Crappy Fisherman, thank you. More stupid news. HuffPost says Dukes of Hazzard are now officially racist or something. Again, apparently, that damned awesome orange car. Well, if they're going after Dukes of Hazzard, I mean, talk about low-hanging fruit. They had a car named the General Lee with a fucking Confederate flag on top. It wasn't done in any racist way, but if you want to go for an easy one, there you go. Also, Georgia. The previous Democrat gubernatorial nominee there, a white man, lost his race by 8 points. Abrams got 900,000 more votes than he did. Then how was she oppressed in this? Seriously, you had this horrible oppression campaign against minority voters, and they turned out in droves. Nobody wants a black woman to be governor, but 900,000 more people turned out for her than the last white guy running for that one.
Monkey narrative. Stay focused.
This is stupid as shit.
Stay focused on the narrative, monkey.
I'm only 2 paragraphs in, and I can't read that shit anymore. It's dumb. What's this over here? This comes from Quinn. Indian firm completes ITER cryostat or stat manufacture. I don't know what that means. I feel like those are words too big for me. The cryostat will completely surround the vacuum vessel and superconducting magnets of the ITER fusion machine, insulating the magnetic system at an ultra-cold temperature. The 3,800-ton cryostat will be the world's largest steel vacuum chamber with a volume of 16,000 cubic meters. It has been built in 54 segments at L&T's. What's it for? You're just going to throw people in it and watch them explode?
I'm not sure.
ITER will be a 500 megawatt Tomahawk fusion device designed to prove the feasibility of fusion at a large scale and carbon-free source of energy.
Oh, okay.
So they're making like a weird nuclear thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Trying to make a new energy source.
Yeah, and with CERN, they're gonna kill us with science. Oops, black hole. Let's see.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm trying to find something happy. I should have ended with the car crash because that one was funny. Scroll in. Keep the Signal Boost had sent in the one about the weird drivers too. No, don't care about that one. Oh, I suppose we can do this one from our good friend Jack Cochran. Jack the motherfucking Cochran. Scrabble tournaments look to ban racial and ethnic slurs.
Okay.
Cryptic, thank you. I bet you it's to make curry. I feel that's racist.
I didn't know they allowed them.
Well, when I was thinking of this, because I saw the headline. We're not going to read the story because, I mean, what else is there to say, really? But, I mean, they are technically words.
Yeah, they're definitely words, but like, I don't know. It was just like I just thought that it was just like, yeah, that's not a thing.
Yeah, I mean, on the one hand, I'm with you. I'm like, those were allowed in official rules. Right. They have like tournaments and shit that people win money and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, they are words. So, like, I mean, if you're going to be playing Scrabble, But then again, how often does the chance come up?
Probably not very often.
I'm just saying, if you have the letters IGGER, there's probably a B on this board somewhere that you can put that with. Instead of the other letter, you know.
So who's going to be regulating this in people's homes?
I wonder, I mean, who gets to decide? I mean, they're going to have to come up with an official list of banned words. And that's going to have to be in their rule book somewhere.
You gotta call them on a Zoom call whenever you're playing so they can make sure your guys aren't using words that aren't
right. I mean, I get it, I guess. With that, guys, it is the end of the show. Or not the end of the show. The end of that segment. It's time for YouTube time. Satsu, what'd you do today?
I edited a couple videos, a cooking video that'll be going up tomorrow. Culinary speedrun that I edited. I got a couple other videos together that I was supposed to have been doing but didn't. A few videos from the headset that I recorded that I'm supposed to be uploading. Played a little bit of 7 days with my homie Zach today because he started a new thing because he's always played Nav's game. Like he's never played a custom one. So I hopped in with him and he set up a custom one and we were fucking around in there. And that's kind of it. That's all I really did today. We won't be streaming tonight, guys. So, well, I won't. Monkey probably will. So.
I likely will be. Let's see. I did a monkey in the morning. We played our game stream last night. Then I did a monkey in the morning. And then I did my own game stream. And I told you, Satsu, people got to see it last night. This game hates me. I'm sitting there cutting down a tree. It's day 8. I'm cutting down this tree, just gathering some resources, to start building stuff back up. And I hear this sound, and I look up, and 6 goddamn dogs are running at me. 6. It's all right. I killed them all. But I'm like, are you really? A dog pack? But yeah, that was an interesting one. Not a lot of really exciting stuff happened on it. It was mostly just me doing a couple of quests, building some at night, and then going back and doing more questing. I'm trying to strike a balance of getting both done so that when I get into day 14, I don't end up where we were at day 14. Mm-hmm. So I've already started already making my cement and stuff because I'm just going to touch up my pillar base and try to use it for day 14 while I try to decide what kind of real base I want to make. I think I might go for another, walkway one. We'll see what happens though. Let's see. That brings us to Humpatry. Got any fuckatry tonight?
Well, there's something unusual going on over on Twitter right now.
Are people being nice?
Yeah, it's weird. There's a hashtag called Thanks to, and I clicked on it with lots of fear. But when I got here, it's just a whole bunch of people saying awesome shit about their experiences with video games.
Students losing their visas wasn't about illegal immigrants at all.
Oh.
It was about forcing colleges to open the fuck up.
Got it.
Because if they want to keep their students, by the way, they make a shit ton of money off their foreign students because all foreign students pay full tuition. So that was Trump trying to force them to reopen. And then today he comes out with this. It was actually DeVos who announced it that, yeah, they're thinking about keeping federal funding from these colleges if they're not going to open up because they're supposed to be open up. And there's nothing in the guidelines that say all of these schools have to be shut down. All of these people who keep talking about they need to follow the guidelines. The guidelines do not say to shut down. They actually say you should only be shut down if there's a significant outbreak in your area within the last 2 weeks. Otherwise, they recommend schools being open. No, Trump just isn't listening to the experts. That's what the experts are saying, and nobody else is listening. So yeah, he's trying to force their hand. Is it legal? I don't know. I don't know how the federal government funding colleges thing actually works. So, but that's what it's about. It's just about trying to get them to open their damn doors back up.
Gotcha. So I've been seeing a ton of posts now, like straight up, flat out, like really in your face, anti-China and who posts from people who I know for an absolute fact were all on their dicks a couple months ago because they were trying to make Trump look bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of weird because a good majority of these people are talking about this like, yeah, man, we've been saying the same thing this whole time. China needs to go. They're not doing anything right. Somebody needs to just wipe China off the map, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, did we all forget what just took place? Remember, Trump was called racist because he blamed China for the virus. He was called racist because he said the WHO was not providing proper and good information. He was called racist because he blocked travel from China for when the first thing happened. Like, all this stuff happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? Who fucking pressed the button again? Like the big red reset button. Like, somebody pressed it again, god damn it, because I'm looking through my feed and I'm just like, you were saying this shit a couple months ago. You were saying this shit a couple months ago. Scroll back up. You were saying this shit a couple months ago. I'm just like, what the fuck? Did I miss something? Because, like, Trump announced that we're going to be like, I don't know, what was it? Did he say we were like pulling out as far as like connection with the WHO organization or whatever? Who?
We are talking about pulling out, and he had reduced funding to them.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw that, and I'm just like, okay, well, people are going to be upset about this because they're the experts, and Trump once again is blah, blah. Not a single fucking person who I know would have been pissed about this a couple months ago have said anything about this. Like, it's just been in the news. And I'm just like, wait a minute. What happened? And I shared the article of their little secret change that they made, saying that China never informed them about the corona when it happened or whatever. And people are just like, yeah, man, that's fucked up. Fuck China. And I'm just like, but wait a minute.
Yep.
Like, hold the fuck up, man. And it just, I don't know. It's disheartening because he's just like, man, I was seriously arguing with some of these people before, you know, like we were having what I deem to be fairly serious conversations about why they're full of shit and shouldn't be focused so much on just making Trump look bad and focusing on the issue at hand, the seriousness of the problems and stuff that are going on over in China. And they're just like, oh, you're probably a racist, so whatever. And I'm just like, and now it's just like, oh yeah, fuck China. The media is not telling us that we can't say it now, so now we could say it. And there's no reason for us to get mad at Trump in this instance, so it's okay to say now. And I'm just like, y'all are so full of shit.
Don't worry, it'll be wrong to hate them again tomorrow.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Why you say that?
Because it's a story I'll talk about in just a little bit.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's just fascinating to watch, you know, because it's so abrupt. Because it feels like, you know, like it feels like I just had those conversations. Like, I don't feel like that much time has passed, but people are so fucking like they're so conditional. if that makes sense. It's actually kind of crazy. I did share the article, The Unintentional Racism Found in Traffic Signs, over on Facebook.
Oh, how'd that go over?
Oh man, people are just like, what the fuck is this shit? like, what the fuck? Oh my god. I had to go back and read it again just to make sure that my brain processed it correctly. I cannot believe that a human being sat down and actually wrote this. Like it really still baffles me that somebody's serious, hilarious. Somebody posted a compilation of pictures of Trump with people who I'm guessing have committed some form of crime at some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, how can a person be associated with so many criminals and not be a part of any of them? Isn't that amazing? And then somebody posted a picture of Trump with a fuck ton of black celebrities and black people and said, how could a person be associated with so many black icons and be a racist? And I'm just like, oof.
Oof.
I'm just like, well, if one question is valid, then so is the other. So if you think you think the response question is stupid, then you got to think your question is stupid too.
Well, in fairness, they're both stupid questions.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's the point.
No, I get you. But you could look at them and think, wow, those are both smart questions. No, they're both stupid.
They're not. They're both.
But the second one is stupid on purpose.
Exactly. And I'm just like, come on, man. Like, stop it. This makes no sense. But that was definitely a touche moment.
Right. I loved being, and it's easy to do on Twitter because some people make the dumbest fucking arguments, and just applying their argument to something else going on and watching them just froth at the mouth over it. It's fun.
Okay, so this one's a little dated, but I'm wondering if anybody's seen it. So this chick is she's got a big fucking snake in this tank, right? Huge, gigantic fucking snake. And as she's taking the top off or whatever, the snake is like lifting his head up out of the tank. And she like step backs just a little bit, and the snake is moving towards her. Like he's like actively moving towards her. And this bitch puts her arm out in front of the snake, and he snatches her fucking arm up and wraps himself around her arm. And this video is like a 15-minute video of this snake like permanently latched to this lady, and she is bleeding all over the place. And I'm just like, holy shit. And I was wondering if you guys saw this video. I saw it a while back, but I forgot to mention it or whatever. But this snake got her ass. Like, I'm like, y'all either gonna have to kill that snake or he gonna kill her. Like, that's it. Because he got her. Like, ain't no letting go. And this looked like a very expensive snake. Like, so they were taking a long time. But I'm like, if that was my wife or my girlfriend or whatever, that snake be dead in like 2 minutes. Like, it wouldn't have all that trying to pry it off and shit. Fuck that. Kill that goddamn snake. Get it off of her. I mean, it's her fault, but don't fucking let her.
I have not seen that. But two things. One, stop owning snakes, people. There's a reason that's how the devil presented himself. They're evil. Look at the way they move. That ain't natural. And two, never take the lid off. Just leave them in there. You got them trapped. Now you don't have to worry. But yeah, man, kill or be killed, right?
I mean, yeah, it's I know they got the snake off, but the video, like it was just how long it took them. It was so long. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, y'all got to do something. Get that fucker off her. That was a big ass snake, dude. It wrapped around her arm like 4 times, and then wrapped his bottom half around her leg.
Yeah, that's not cool.
No thanks. No thanks. No thanks. I am all the way good on that. I like smaller snakes. I can deal with those guys, but them big ass fucking like where'd my dog go snakes? Fuck that.
No, snakes are nasty.
I like them. I think they're cool, but that shit is just not okay. Mm-mm. But yeah, I was scrolling down and I happened to see somebody had posted it again, and I'm like, I wonder if they saw this. It's fucking terrifying. But that's pretty much it for my fucketry. I didn't get into a whole lot today.
So Sanguine says, no, cats are evil. Snakes just don't know. They only have a tiny reptilian brain. Don't make excuses for them. They're evil. Although I did see a great thing the other day about an alligator that once swallowed, that the alligator ate the snake from the inside out, and that made me happy. Snakes are evil, man. Where was I? Over here. I got into a lot of humpetry today, man. It's hump day, so I was on it. Let's see. I'm trying to go back to the beginning. Yeah, so this was early this morning. John Cleese tweeted out, I'm learning that multiple things that I learned growing up are completely wrong. For instance, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Not true. Now, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can be incredibly harmful. John, you've turned into a giant fucking pussy, man. I know you're getting old and you're worried about death, but you're a giant fucking pussy. I hope that doesn't hurt your feelings.
I'm sure it probably did.
That story we talked about yesterday with the people meeting with Facebook, there was a report that came out, and I don't remember if it was said in the story last night, and I couldn't remember. But even if it was, it bears repeating. There was a report that came out saying that Facebook's decisions were, and I'm quoting, a setback for civil rights. Wow. And that people's civil rights were being violated online.
What?
I'm like, how the fuck do you violate somebody's civil rights by something you posted to them? I feel like we've taken civil rights and they throw that at anything they don't like now.
Well, I guess it just depends on how weak you are as a person or an individual to feel like something somebody posted online has affected you so dramatically that your literal civil rights are at risk, or you're just being over dramatic and trying to make a huge thing out of nothing.
Snubbert says, was he being sarcastic? I don't know. I know I've read a lot from John Cleese lately that makes me say he's a giant pussy. Because he's a giant pussy. This is a guy who ran away from England because he doesn't like their laws, and then he sits around bitching about everybody else's laws. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he'll sit there and bitch about people being mean. He's a cunt. I know, for some of you, the Holy Grail is the Holy Grail. That movie sucked ass. And John Cleese has turned into a giant pussy. I saw this headline on Drudge Report today. I haven't been over there in forever. And I went over there and it's talking about the book that Donald Trump's niece wrote.
Oh, yeah.
And it said why she did it. Like, to make a shit ton of money off of people who don't like Donald Trump. That's not... Why did you need to ask that question?
Because it has to be something profound, you know?
Yeah, it's deep. It's fucking deep. It's not that she just wanted the paycheck, y'all. She did it for us.
Yeah, because she knows that now is the perfect time. It doesn't matter how shitty this book is. It doesn't matter if not a single word is true. It is a complete work of fiction. It's written like a fucking 3-year-old. None of that shit matters at all. Like, they don't care. They just like say bad stuff about Trump so we can buy this book.
The New York Post told us that 2 of Thomas Jefferson's descendants want his D.C. memorial replaced.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about yesterday.
Nobody cares. I don't care how many of his. how many of his descendants want it replaced? I don't care if he came back and said he wanted it replaced. No. There was another one I saw today. What was the other one? There was a city that voted to take down. Who was president after Grant? Shit. Damn it. I can see his face. I can't think of his name. But a city voted to take down the statue of him because we have to stop promoting the legacy of slavery. Like, what? I mean, plus he did the Trail of Tears, y'all. Trail of Tears. Was it after Grant? Okay, not after Grant. After Lincoln. My bad. Before Grant. Yeah. I was like, are you kidding? Anyhow. What else? The ACLU regarding the Supreme Court decision today said the Supreme Court just sided with the Trump administration, ruling your employer or university can deny you birth control coverage based on a religious or moral objection. We've said it before and we say it again. Religious liberty is not a license to discriminate.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Thought everything wasn't about Trump.
But it is. And in a similar vein, Representative Nadler, Jerry Nadler, that little fat shit-looking piece of garbage, he said today's disastrous Supreme Court decision could deprive hundreds of thousands of women to access to birth control. Congress must act to reverse this decision, which will disproportionately impact, low-wage workers and people of color who already face significant barriers to care. We can talk about his wording there, because I've seen this a lot. It's going to deprive these women of access to birth control. Like somebody's going to be standing outside the Walmart going, why are you going in here? Well, I need condoms. Get out, bitch.
So hold on.
Yeah.
I'm a little confuzzled. This ruling was for what again?
It was a rule allowing companies that have a moral or a religious objection to certain types of birth control to not be forced to carry insurance coverage that covers that kind of birth control.
And is this something that has already been existing?
Yeah.
Or is it like new, like something brand new that they were just like, no, you can't do this?
There's been an objection, or there's been a exemption in there, but the exemption was expanded to, originally the exemption was just for churches. But this expands it to companies who have a moral objection to it as well. So say the guy who runs, this is purely speculation or theoretical here, guys. Real quick, 30 years, they'll tell men to keep it in their pants, they'll live. Thank you, Snubbers. Yeah, hang on, we'll get to anyway. So they had the one for companies, but if like Chick-fil-A, a guy who's very religious, decided he does not want to have to pay for somebody to get the morning after pill, then he won't be forced to do that. His money won't be going to fund that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And wasn't a thing before.
The law itself leaves it entirely up to the controlling body, which is it's one of the departments within the Department of Health and Human Services.
Right.
They get to decide exactly what the wording means. The wording simply means that they have to provide, or simply says that they have to provide for preventative health care and something else. I forget what. But it doesn't say fuck all specifically about birth control.
Okay. Well, what I'm getting at, or at least what I'm trying to figure out is,
sure,
is there a significant difference in what was then and what is now?
Just that there's that the companies are allowed to, rather than it just being churches.
Okay.
And with the companies being allowed to do it, then it is what is it? Up to 120,000 women might lose their coverage.
Got it.
So instead of having insurance coverage for birth control, they'll have to go buy it themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is restricting them access.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to point out something about Nadler saying this.
Uh-huh.
Nadler was in Congress when that bill was written. At any point during that time, he could have said, hey, we need to specifically say birth control for women is covered. At any point. He did not do that. He voted for it as it was passed. But he puts the blame on the Supreme Court's disastrous Supreme Court decision. They literally followed the law you voted for, shithead. That's on you, not them. Over on these Streamy Labs. Thank you, Sanguine. Andrew Jackson is the one blamed for the Trail of Tears. Okay, so maybe it was Jackson. And that was before Lincoln. The law that started it, though, was just natives can live in the U.S. if they abide by U.S. law, or if they don't want to abide, they can fuck off or live on reservations. Yeah. There's 5-1 vote in that city council. I forget where that council is. They're just getting rid of all of it. But yes, apparently by telling women they have to buy their own birth control, you're depriving them of access to it. So all of us men who have to buy our own condoms, you guys have been depriving us of birth control this whole time.
Well, we all know that women are both too broke and too stupid to do that stuff on their own. So they would they need something in place to help them do it, because there's no way they can figure that out by themselves.
For this next part, I'm going to put a picture on the screen. It's a still frame from a video. I'm not going to play the video itself. But this is a couple of black guys open carrying guns.
And they're still, they're, according to the narrative, they should be dead. This is a picture of them when they were alive, right?
Oh, wait. This gets so much better, Satsu.
Uh-huh.
I saw this because a jackass on Twitter posted it and said this. I've been saying this for years, that the only way to get the right to reconsider its gun obsession is to have POCs walking down our streets, legally armed to the teeth. I'm thrilled to see this. Now, if you read between the lines of what this guy just said, he wants to take the right away from black guys to do this too.
Yeah.
That's your ally.
Yeah. I'm thrilled to see Negroes using guns because that'll scare the rednecks and possibly get them killed. But that way, gun laws will be put into place.
Literally using black people for your own end.
Yeah.
To try to even get their rights taken away. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah. He's like legally arm them and make them run through the streets. And that'll scare white people into taking away all of our rights. It's cool. I'm glad you're thrilled by that notion.
Snubber, thank you. A common excuse they also use is to regulate their bodies, periods, etc. There are women who supposedly do that. I know that it does help with some. I don't know how common it is for that to be the reason for a prescription of birth control pills, though. Now, this idiot followed up and said, and even though some gun nuts on here might think this is wonderful, the more armed people, the better. No way the GOP middle-class voter and rich donors agree. They are, after all, the ones who control our representatives. When they push gun control, it will pass.
Okay. Check this out. These people are incredibly stupid. Because what this person is arguing is these people who walk around with their guns to protect their properties and the stuff that they have are going to willfully hand over all of their weapons to get weapons away from black people so their property and stuff can now be unprotected.
Yep.
I don't even understand how you could possibly be that fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, tee, I can't wait for this to work. And it's just like, they're like, no, let them Negroes have guns. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm happy that I will buy the entire neighborhood weapons and encourage them. I will take them all through school, get them all educated, so that way they know how to use them, and it's all legal. Yes, like, these people are not see, and this is the thing. They are willing to get rid of their own rights in order to take them away from somebody else. The other side's not that stupid.
Well, here's the thing. While you're right about the guy being willing to give up his own rights, I bet you those gentlemen with the guns would not have been.
Of course not. Of course.
And I wonder what he would say to them if those black guys came up to him and said, "We want our guns."
Yeah.
Would he look them in the face and go, sorry, I kind of need you for a token right now, so these guys will get rid of them?
It's so crazy. It's so insane. And it's really tripped out that this person really believes that these black people who are walking around legally carrying their firearms are doing it specifically so white people can't have them. Like that,
yeah.
That's the goal. Like we spent all the money on these guns and got permits, and we're walking around with them because we want to. Our end game is to make sure that white people get scared of us so they can vote away guns. Like you got to be the dumbest motherfucker on the planet to think something like that.
This was actually a counter protest. I don't know if what the guy in the video says is true, but according to him, the reason they were out there is because the day before, a bunch of white people with guns came out and were trying to intimidate people. So they came out there so you couldn't intimidate people. There was a counterbalance.
Right.
That was it. You know how many people got shot in these two incidents?
None.
And
that's what happened at the the Second Amendment rally and all the other stuff where people had brought guns or whatever. These fucking terrorists are terrorizing the neighborhood. Not a single piece of property damage, not a single fire started, not a single person hurt. But then you got all these people literally tearing down and destroying neighborhoods, blowing up buildings and gas stations and graffiti everywhere and tearing shit up. No, they're just exercising their rights. But those fucking disgusting terrorists over there with those guns, we should fear for our lives because they showed up at a place and then went home. Yep. Fucking dangerous. They're horrible people. How can you not be scared of these terrorists who literally showed up to a location and then went home without incident? But don't fear these people who will burn your fucking house down. They're not a threat at all. They're just mad. They're just upset. They're expressing their feelings. They're totally harmless as long as you run away from the fire.
And again, not saying there's no racist gun nuts out there, but I've never seen a gun supporter who's like, I support all Americans owning guns except black people.
Yeah. Not a single.
In fact, I've seen the opposite. I've seen them actually say, I support black people open carrying anytime this kind of stupid shit is brought up.
Yeah. Dude, find me the most racist, redneck, gun-toting person ever who's like, I hate black people. It's like, you want them to have guns? I don't care.
Yep.
if
they're right.
If I can have them, they can have them. I just don't like them. Like, these people are not stupid enough like you are. They're not as dumb as you to get rid of their own rights in order to strip them away from somebody else. You people are the only ones dumb enough to come up with such an asinine idea. Like, nobody else is that stupid. I know you think like, oh, they're just as dumb as we are. No, they're not. They're not going to do that. Only you fucking assholes are stupid enough to do something like that.
Cut off your nose to spite your face.
Exactly. It makes no sense. I'm going to give away my rights of speech because other people are saying things I don't like. And then get upset and say that I'm being silenced when it applies to me too. Like, come on.
Now, I have a couple more stories, but since you brought that up, I want to, and this is the title of the stream. We're gonna talk about this one real fast. Where'd that go? No. Damn it. Where'd it go? I lost it. This one. I don't know who this chick is. Her name is Jodie Comer.
Mm-hmm.
She's apparently the star of Killing Eve.
Okay.
There are people who want to cancel her.
All right.
Not for anything she said. In fact, she's from all looks of it, a Black Lives Matter supporting, dyed in the wool lefty.
All right.
But people did some digging online, and they found somebody with the same name as her boyfriend, who may or may not be him, who's a Republican. That's it.
So wait a minute.
That's it.
This person is being canceled.
Yep.
Because they found somebody who has the same name as the person who she's dating.
It might be him.
It could be him.
But last I saw, that had not been confirmed. It was just somebody with that name. Yes.
And okay. He's
a Republican. So be careful who you date, guys, because now even who you date is a reason to cancel you. They didn't even say this guy said anything horrible. Just Republican. That's it. That's enough. You got to go bye-bye now.
It is so tripped out. And like there's a lot of people that I talk to too, family and otherwise, who look at the opposition like and see the word Republican and think bad person, you know? And it's so fucking weird to me. Because there's nobody who holds any title, especially politically, who all agrees on everything. You know what I mean? Like everybody is a little bit different. You can put 3 Democrats in a room and they'll argue to the death about some shit that all Democrats are perceived to agree upon. You know what I mean? Because it's just people are different. And it's the same people who don't like shit like generalizations and prejudiceness and all that type of stuff like that, who are seemingly against that or bigotry or whatever. And they will straight up hear the word and be like, yep, you're talking about a bad individual. It's so fucking weird to me. And
real quick, Gamer Valine, thank you. Our cities would have lower crime rates if law-abiding citizens would match force. That is something that bridges every walk of life. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, you were saying, Satsu?
No, it's just odd to see people behave that way, especially if their activism or whatever it is that they claim to believe in states that you shouldn't think like that about groups of people. You know what I mean? But you know, hypocrisy is the theme of 2020, and nobody's immune to it. Like there's so many people I know very personally who are straight up just like they are literally the picture of everything that they claim to hate. So I guess it's just the thing now. Make a list of things that you believe in and then do everything you possibly can to completely go against all of it.
Well, let me read you just this real quick. But guys, go ahead and start asking your questions. Sin Nikki asked for the link to the article. There you go. This is from the article. Twitter users are sure that the person Comer is allegedly dating is the same Burke they've discovered with right-leaning political affiliations. Pretty sure. Let's destroy her career. You know what's funny about that? Mm-hmm. There's another article. Guys, go ahead and ask your questions. We'll get to them in a few minutes. Or we'll get to them as soon as I'm done rambling here. But there's another article about this, what's the word? Drag queen who is on the cover of Playboy this month. And in the article, they say something to the effect of people love who they're meant to love. Like, apparently not this woman. That's okay with apparently, you know, odd sexual behaviors, but not if it's a Republican with a Democrat. Look, I'm not saying you should date somebody who disagrees with you horribly on politics. That can be a struggle, but I don't think it should be a deal breaker, you know?
Well, I know. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought
if you're comfortable with it, it's nobody else's fucking business.
Right. Yeah, I know some people. I know some people who there was one conversation that I kind of stumbled upon where the girl was like, you know, my dad's a Republican and, you know, he has his things about him, but I love him and he's a good man and he does all these things for me and blah, blah, blah. And he would never hurt a fly or whatever. And this person was like, you know, LGBT or whatever. And it was like, somebody chimed in like, I don't understand how you could have any type of emotion towards a person who wants you dead. And the girl was like, at what point did you hear me type in the words, oh, he also wants me dead? Like, where did you see that? I listed off a whole bunch of things and virtues about this person. And that was the thing you came up with. And it was like, well, if they're a Republican, then that's the only thing it could be, because they believe blah, 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 blah. And if they believe anything even close to that, then obviously they don't want you to live. And I'm just like, I'm feeling that way about you now.
And real quick, I did say I would address it briefly. SDA was in an argument over the visa thing with Hammer, where she made the comment that these people wouldn't be allowed to fly back to their homes because of Wu flu restrictions. And Reject pointed out that in the cases where there are restrictions, citizens are allowed to go back to their homes. And for that, she got called a racist. And Matt,
you call it racist?
Huh?
Oh no, you meant okay.
SDA called Reject a racist just for pointing that out.
Oh, okay.
And Matt pops his little head in there to say that Lords of the Night, Hammer says that SDA has gotten very liberal since she's left the show. I'm paraphrasing all of this. You can go read it on their different timelines. And Matt pops in to say that Lords of the Night has always been very right wing. Yeah, so that's what that was today.
Yes, from the dumb fat asshole who is literally a fucking liar, literally goes against everything he believes in, and was false flagging people's channels to try to stop or cancel people's livelihood, and the person who, once again, doesn't even fucking watch the show, but seems to know everything that goes on over here.
Well, he made a follow-up comment saying that I go pretty hard on my show and it leaks over into this one. Like, go fuck yourself. I don't care.
Matt, you don't watch it. You don't.
I hope he watches it. I hope he sits there and gets all pissed off about it every night.
He don't. He listens to people, what people tell him about it, or he'll sit and listen in for a little bit. But you can tell by the stuff that he says about us. I've had numerous conversations with him, and based on the stuff that he said about me specifically, I'm like, you definitely don't watch. There's no way you can and say the dumb shit that you said about me. Like, you're a fucking idiot. If you truly believe the stuff that you say, then you're either as dumb as I assumed that you were, which was pretty fucking stupid to be fair, or you're just full of shit. So.
Well, Nuts asked why he never calls any of us out individually. And I'm going to paraphrase my comment. So he did say that you only do what I tell you, or think what I tell you to think. So now let others decide what's the difference between me, Satsu, and Scribe. I leave that up to y'all to figure out. I don't know why he went after the only person he had an individual thing to say about was Satsu. I don't know what's different between us.
What could be the difference?
What could be the difference?
I wonder.
Yeah. Frosted Glass. First Daniel says, have you seen the Tom Cruise running for president commercials? Thoughts on the Tom Cruise presidency? I have not seen them. And that dude's in a cult. I don't think and he's pretty high up in a cult. I don't think we should have him in the presidency. I don't think he's sane. Have you seen him?
No.
Yeah. Is it ironic that the BLM girl hit by the car could have used a little white man telling her not to cross the road?
Oof.
I think it's more just tragic. Cryptic, thank you. Matt is getting bolder, just saying. Yeah. You sure as fuck didn't tag me in that tweet.
Well, I mean, like I said, I can't. I'm not a super angry person. You know what I mean? Like, I get frustrated and annoyed with stuff or whatever. But generally speaking, like, I'm not really aggressive, so to speak. But whenever Matt or Sophane specifically, like when they pull the shit that they're doing, it it irks me in a very particular way because, you know, these were people who we consider to be friends back then. These are people who have talked to us, who have spoken to us or whatever, and we've had conversations with. And I don't like people who claim to know me, people who I've talked to and conversated with, saying shit that ain't true about me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Especially if you know better. You're just lying just because, you know, you're trying to dance for your buddies and shit like that. It pisses me off to no end.
If people want to walk around and talk about me, I don't give a fuck.
Tell the truth. Look, dude, I don't give a fuck what you say about me as long as it's true. If it's true, then I'm like, yeah, okay, well, that happened. That's fine. But
I know what kind of dick I am.
Yeah, if you're just making up shit and saying shit that ain't true, then, you know, and I'm like I said, I'm not a very angry person, man, but that's what it takes to get your ass whooped. Typically, it takes about that much.
Mata, your questions are getting weirder all the time. Oh, Lords, would you rather fight a Mexican cartel member for the ownership of New Zealand or dance fight a mariachi clown for a large pile of gold bullion?
Well, I think the gold bullion will be specifically useful to us because of Fallout. So,
well, I mean, I feel like why would I want New Zealand? Nothing against New Zealand. It's just way the fuck over there. A large pile of gold bullion I could use. And I feel like dance fighting a mariachi clown is a lot safer than getting in a fight with a cartel member. I feel like that's not even a comparison, man. Yeah, I'm dance fighting. Lords of Night, did you see the small argument SDA got into on Twitter over her online education? I did not.
I actually just saw that like 20 minutes ago or whatever. I was scrolling through and I saw it, but I just kept going because I didn't feel like reading it. So I don't know what it was about, but I did catch a glimpse of
it. Did Scribe tell you guys about the doozy of a TED Talk today? No, we didn't talk to Scribe other than him to let us know he wasn't feeling well, or at least I didn't.
Wait a minute. What the hell?
What's up?
This was something Snubber tagged us in. It says, every time you internally or externally deny your significant other's behavior in private is linked to pornography addiction, you are one step closer to a rape victim.
Read that again.
Every time you internally or externally deny your significant other's behavior in private is linked to pornography addiction. You are one step closer to being a rape victim.
What? I don't understand. Real quick, over on the Streamlabs, thank you again, Sanguine. Oh, shit. I missed one earlier. I am so sorry, bud. It said, Monkey, you forgot to explain to Satsu the Lords of the Night being right-wing propaganda and how that came up during fucketry. I got there. I was just late on it. And thank you again, Sanguine. Scribe can read and target only blowhards claiming expertise. You are a cripple and will passionately argue anything, anytime, anywhere. Satsu tends towards fairly level conversations with sporadic cutting remarks that tend to dig into the crux of it. That's fair.
I mean, I don't really have that sounds pretty accurate for the way that I talk about stuff. So, like I said, like, I just don't like liars. I don't like hypocrites.
I don't like people who lie about me or my friends. And if you got something to say, I mean, you don't have to say it to me, but don't then turn around and call everybody in our audience racist because they think that the law should be upheld. Do you realize right now, Satsu, with the law as it is, that a student from overseas, somebody carrying the F1 visa, is only allowed to take one online course at a time?
No.
Yeah. It's illegal for them to take more than one. They'd get kicked out for it. because they're supposed to be in class. That's the whole point of bringing them over here. And it's not fucking racist to point that out.
Well, I don't know. A lot of conversation has been coming up with this notion that simply pointing out a factual statement that happens to be something unfortunate for a specific group of people is racism. And I'm just like, what? Like it's just a factual statement. Yeah, but the fact that you brought it up means you're racist. And I'm like, no, but okay. So, all right, I guess.
Lindsay said, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Jarbo burned his bridges with everyone. He's desperate for relevancy. He's trying to bait you guys. No, he knows I'm easy enough to argue with if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But as Nuts pointed out, just a little bit down there, Monks will rip him a new one and he knows it.
Well, like I said, he lost all credibility with me during that stream where he straight up sat in everybody's faces and lied perfectly, like just straight up shooting the shit, laughing it off and, chuckling at the accusations and coming up with all these very, very reasoned and logical reasons why, there's no way he could have done that. And then straight up, like no fucking strings attached, no provocation. I mean, well, not no provocation, but like after the shit hit the fan, he was just like, yeah, I did it. I'm just like, you motherfucking snake.
No, it wasn't even just that. It was, look, guys, I'm in a bad place.
Like, no, fuck you.
You actually tried pulling that first. Look, man, I'm in a bad place.
No, man. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Like,
the funniest part of that whole thing? The reason that all came up right there is because the stream that they were doing got taken down. And so they have him pull up all of these people that he's reported. And that stream wasn't one of them. Somebody else had actually reported that stream. That or he did it under another account. Yeah.
And I'm just like, I cannot believe this motherfucker would sit there and straight flat out lie. Like, not exaggerate, not stress, but like straight flat out, just like, nah, I would never. Like, you are a special piece of scum, you fucking dirty ass bastard. Man, I was so mad. I'm like, fuck this dude. He is the definition of a true piece of shit. It take a lot for a person to be able to lie to your face like that, like straight up, without any remorse or any type of indication that they're a flat out, straight up lying. And I'm like, you went against everything you claim to morally stand for and did it like that shit was just second nature. Like, fuck everything you stand for.
Okay, Snubber, thank you so much. Who says, Satsu, what I tagged you in was essentially a woman equating Dragon Ball Z and anime to rape culture. Her whole Twitter is interesting. Thank you so much for the donation, sir. Okay, back to commercials. Whoops. I saw the word commercial right here because apparently that Tom Cruise actor is an impersonator. It's not actually him. But I still stand by what I say in regards to a Tom Cruise presidency.
But that's probably why I get so specifically mad at Matt, is because he thinks he has the nerve. You know what I mean? Like, he has the audacity to criticize anybody for anything. I'm like, just shut the fuck up and do your channel thing. Like, be happy that the few people that are still watching your fucking pointless show are still watching it, and shut the fuck up. Like, don't talk about anything. You don't get to. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Since the Republican Party are racist, why did the Democrats create the KKK? Because they're super racist. There's a lot of talk about Matt and SDA and Sofane's been thrown in there. I'm not addressing most of that, guys. I'm not. If you have a specific question, I'm happy to answer a question.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, like I said, I don't talk about Sofane much anymore because we excommunicated, so that's done. Like, unless it involves me directly, I don't bring it up. But I hate Matt, so I'm like, I'll talk shit about Matt any day. And SDA, I love SDA, even though she has her little stuff, but we all got our little stuff, so I don't have no problems with SDA.
Her comment today annoyed the shit out of me because it's straight out of left field. The argument was literally, she said that people couldn't go home. It was pointed out, yes, they could, and she responded with, "You're racist."
Yeah, that's some
That's
bullshit.
fucked up.
That's some bullshit.
That is literally the SJW playbook. You prove me wrong, you're racist.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked her about that. I haven't gotten a reply. I don't know if she will.
I don't think
she doesn't have to, but I think she owes some people an apology for that. Monk, if Magog gets his own sitcom set ready, will you guest star? CGI, of course, as a crippled Sasquatch. If he asked me to do something for it and I was able to, time-wise, I'd be happy to. I like Magog. Me and him get along pretty well, at least last I knew. You never know on the Twitters, though, do you? We've never had a problem.
He's a cool dude.
I'm gonna start beef with him. Magog, kiss my ass. Yep. Weirdo. Real men don't wear eye makeup, damn it. No, I'm just fucking. I love Magog. He's funny. So based on last night's conversation about Satsu holding steak below chicken and pork, does that just go for steak or all red meat? Oh, that's a good question. Do you like hamburgers more than like steak? I mean,
no, like beef in general.
Okay.
In general is like on the pretty close to the bottom rung when it comes to meat that I prefer. And that's just I don't know why. It just I just prefer the other stuff. I never really thought about it though until you asked. Like until you asked that question or that topic came up, I was just like, yeah, I guess I do like beef the least.
You're still wrong, but I understand.
Look, man.
Well, that would be like saying, okay, chicken is my second favorite, but if you make it the breast, it's my favorite. Well, then chicken would have been my favorite, right? Just saying. I don't like chicken, but chicken nuggets is the bomb. That was what would be if he came back like, no, man, hamburger I put right at the top. Like that's just ground up steak, jackass. So at least I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just I never really had to think about it before. And also too, I haven't tried a lot of other red meats. Like I've never had lamb. I've never had like fucking bear and all that other shit. Like I've never had game meats before, except for buffalo. I had a buffalo burger one time. That was it. So
no one nowhere says Brits go home too. Yes, they do. So do Germans and Irish and Scottish and Dutch and white Spaniards, because those are mostly ours. Yeah, all of Europe would have to go home too. It's not just get the brown people out of here. If you're here on an F1 visa, you gotta go. Racist.
I'm being asked how I like my steak. Medium rare.
Lords, what are your thoughts on the Breathe Act and letting any foreigners in the U.S. can vote in all elections? I don't know what the Breathe Act is, and no, foreigners cannot vote in our elections. No.
Actually, medium, because nobody fucking does medium rare right.
I'm with you. That's why I order mine medium.
Yeah.
I prefer it medium rare, but it's either overcooked or undercooked when you order it that way.
Yeah. So medium probably.
I just go for the middle and hope they get it close to something I like.
Well, actually, see, I got it wrong again because last night they asked me, I said medium well. That's what I meant to say. Not medium rare, medium well, but nobody does that right. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Sorry.
Brutus says he deleted half his report history before he'd shown it.
He was like actively doing so, trying to, because he was stalling. Remember, he was stalling for so fucking long.
He was stalling, and I mean, there was ways he could have still stalled and got everything deleted. I have no proof he actually deleted anything.
I don't either, but I mean,
I'm going with the proof as presented. I'm not willing to make any assumptions there.
Yeah, any definitive claims. I'll make the assumption for sure, because I mean, if you can sit in people's faces and lie that much, then I would never put it past you. But I wouldn't say that he did it definitively, but I would absolutely assume that he did. For sure.
Reject says, I'm sorry that you got brought into it at all, Lords of the Night. No, you didn't do that.
It's what, I don't trip about it.
Look, we get blamed for shit whether we're brought into it or not. I mean, it's amazing how many times we come out of his mouth.
That's
maybe you should keep it closed. I won't put it in there. Did you see or talk about the Karen Act? Yes, we did. We actually read a story about that.
Yes, and we learned something very interesting, and that is definitions mean nothing.
Pincalo, thank you. 20 minutes of stalling, and Keem called him out. Again, stalling doesn't mean he was deleting it. He could have been desperately trying to figure out how to delete it and just couldn't. He also at any time could have just left that stream. He could have had problem. My internet's cutting out. Just throwing that out there.
He could have fled, definitely. And that's what was puzzling me. I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Like, why are you just sitting around? You know you did it. You know you fucking did it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get the fuck out of there.
And the worst part was that bullshit. Look, guys, before I show you this, let me just say this. I was in a bad headspace.
Dude, the reaction when he said that, everybody was like, oh, what the fuck? Come on, dude.
What are you talking about, right?
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. That shit was embarrassing for me. Like it was like painful to watch. I felt like I was being put on the spot. This shit was hard. I've
watched that many times on different videos here and there. I love it every time.
It was tough. It was tough to sit through, man.
He put himself in he did not have to go on that show.
He sure didn't. It was almost like he was punishing himself for doing it, you know?
He wanted the attention of being on the Ralph show with Jim on there. That's going to be a big draw anytime. And you put yourself in that position. Are you out of your fucking mind knowing what you've done?
Is this still up? I think I need to go watch that again.
You can find it at different places. Yeah. The original isn't still up because Ralph's stream or channel's not there anymore. But there's I just watched it today, to be honest. I watched like 3/4 of Jim's video on it. So
yeah, whenever I hear that Matt has said something about us, I think I'm gonna go watch that to make me feel better. Like, he's a worthless piece of shit. What the fuck does it matter what he thinks?
Oh, Lords, would you try a garlic parmesan steak with a bowl of cabbage soup and a large glass of pink lemonade? No.
Wait, what was that? What was the steak?
Garlic parmesan.
Oh, hell yeah. I fucked that up.
Don't put that shit on my steak, and I'm not eating cabbage soup. No.
You don't like cabbage?
I like cabbage. I don't like it nasty.
Have you ever had cabbage soup?
I have. Like I had a grandma.
My grandma didn't make. She made fried cabbage. Like my mom and my grandma used to make the fried. They didn't do the soup.
I might have liked your grandma's cooking then.
Yeah, that
my grandma made was all boiled and nasty. What is this?
Yeah, she used to do the fried cabbage with corned beef.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was so good. Speaking of which, I don't think I've ever made that on my channel. I need to make that happen because oh god, that shit was so delicious.
Oh shit, it's 4 minutes past the hour. Holy fuck.
That shit. The Scribe ain't here. He can't tell us what to do. Let's go to 12. No, I'm just playing.
I was trying to get all the questions in because sorry guys, we just fucked question time all up tonight again. My bad.
I'm sorry. I went on my rant about Matt.
Oh, that's all right, man. I was having a good time. I would prefer that we go over because we're just having too much fun than be sitting here with 10 minutes left to go going, why is it not over?
Well,
you know what I mean?
On the bright side, I have a second reason to say, don't make me get the fucking clip.
Yeah. I don't talk all the shit you want and just be honest about it, man.
Yeah, just be real. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say about me to my face or otherwise, as long as it's true.
But you start calling people racist for no reason. I am going to question it, no matter who you are.
Yep.
Because I believe in truth, my friend.
Actually, Cynical Lindsay just asked me, have I ever thought of doing a chicken and waffle video? I literally was thinking about that yesterday. Like, not even joking. Yesterday was the day I was thinking about doing that. So I might do it now that you asked.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow we are on Satsu's channel over on Satsu 2 Cents for more Lords of the Night goodness at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Anything else to chill out, Satsu?
No, just be well, people. Try to have a wonderful night.
Thank you guys so much for the donations. You're very, very kind. I love you so very much, and not for the money, but for what I can buy with the money. Satsu, a pleasure as always, my friend. Everybody, have a great night. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Your lives make us sad.